Hello and welcome to Geoscope on Politics Social. I'm Graham Hughes. Last time I checked, how you all doing this fine evening? We've got Martin Harrow in the chat. We've got Sarah Davis, One Angry Pagan, Tripod, Pete's Music, and Steve's in there as well. Putin has apparently cancelled the meeting with Trump. LOL, says One Angry Pagan. Yes, indeed. So I'll be joined momentarily by Ollie Bowlerhatman. And in the meantime, I just thought I'd say hello. So, hello. If you'd like to join everyone in the chat here, all the cool people are in the chat. If you want to be a cool person and join them in the cool chat, just hit the subscribe button. And feel free to opine or discuss things amongst yourselves. That's fine by me. Just don't be a troll. Okay, so, we're talking about Trump this week again. We're talking about Ukraine. And we can't talk about Ukraine without talking about Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, clearly, obviously. Now, it seems that new development this week, Donald Trump is now openly pressuring Ukraine to surrender territory to Russia. In a volatile White House meeting last Friday, with Zelenskyy, Trump told Zelenskyy to accept Putin's terms or be destroyed. He tossed aside frontline maps, saying he was sick of seeing them. And he demanded that Ukraine withdraw from the entire Donbass region. And don't forget, Russia doesn't have the whole Donbass. It's got a portion of it. It's not got the whole thing. And Trump's like, no, you got to pull out entirely. He repeated Trump's talking points verbatim from the call that he had the day before. And he claimed that Russia's economy is doing great, despite, all the evidence to the contrary. And why is he bigging up Russia's economy anyway? I have no fucking clue. But I would just like to say a big hello to Ollie, who has now joined us. Hello, Ollie.
He's all right. Yeah, I'm just running late from pickleball.
That's all right, mate. You're wearing your winter gear. It's obviously winter
I know
now.
it's winter time now.
Winter
so I'm back in my I don't know, my wizarding robes.
Hibernation wizard robes. Wizard stroke hibernation robes. So I was just talking about the meeting in the White House last Friday.
Oh my word.
Zelenskyy. Basically, Europe is alarmed. Ukraine is furious. The world is in danger. What did you make of it all?
I've said this before. He's a yo-yo. Honestly, Trump is an absolute yo-yo. It's like 1 minute he's like Putin propaganda. The yo-yo goes down, and it's like, oh, we'll give you tomahawks. I can't trust Putin. And then all of a sudden, back to the hand, and it's throwing. Did you hear about he was throwing maps at Zelenskyy?
Yes, I just mentioned that. He was apparently sick of seeing them.
What? I just don't understand, like, how we can once again just go a complete 180 from where we've been for the past couple of weeks.
Yes.
I just don't understand.
He's got dementia.
Absolute.
He's got dementia.
Whiplash. It is. It's complete. It feels like whiplash.
You've seen what he's done to the White House.
Oh yeah, he's demolished it.
Imagine if a terrorist did that with a rocket launcher from outside. Imagine
he's building this ballroom.
He's the biggest terrorist to ever attack America.
Ballroom.
It's bollock room. Well, because he's not leaving, is he? Let's face it, he's not leaving. You don't build a ballroom for somewhere that you're planning to move out of in 3 years' time. Yeah. The Davinator says mood swings are a sign of dementia, but he's always been like this. He's just a psycho. He's just a psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? One Angry Pagan is shouting now. Putin has apparently cancelled the meeting with Trump. Yeah, I did read that out, mate. I don't know why you're shouting at me. Putin,
has he just cancelled it now?
Yeah.
The Budapest meeting.
Yes, it's been cancelled.
So prepare now for another, like,
yo-yo,
flip-flop. The next couple of days,
flip-flop.
Trump U-turn.
Yeah. So apparently in this White House meeting that descended as a shouting match, Trump was cursing all the time, according to people in the meeting. He said to Zelenskyy, if Putin wants it, he will destroy you. How is he going to do that? We've spoken about this so many times. Yeah. Putin does not have any working nuclear weapons. If he did, he would have fucking used them by now.
It's not only that. Where's the Russian Air Force?
Yeah, where's the Russian Navy?
Like, in out of this entire war.
Yeah.
Where's the Russian Air Force been?
Yeah.
Again, before this, we were told like, Russia has like one of the best air forces in the world. Again,
Yep.
this was all propaganda that Putin pumped out.
Yep.
Where is it?
Yeah.
It's not, and it's non-existent
Yeah.
because most of it has been destroyed, or they're either just terrified to actually put a plane up there.
Yeah.
Because they'll know it'll get shot down.
Well, Pete, Diz is responding to Pete. Yeah, he's building his ballroom. They've demolished the East Wing. Yeah. And like, I had a friend who, because I put a thing on Facebook going, look at this fucking terrorist doing shit. And someone said, they had a barn conversion done and the builders were really, really careful. Every single slate was taken off the roof separately. Every brick was taken out and then it was logged. It was given a number and everything. And the whole process was really, really delicate because it was a listed building. Now, the White House is arguably the most famous building in America. And Trump just sends in bulldozers and
just like, a giant crane just going.
Big fucking claw going in.
But they don't. I don't think they have. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they have that type of rule.
Well, they demolished Penn Station, didn't they? I mean, we demolished Euston Station, which was bad enough, but like Penn Station, my God, that was a fucking monument, and they destroyed it, and now that's where Madison Square Garden is. Used to be Penn Station in New York. I mean, they do it all the time, though. Americans don't seem to have any respect for heritage in that respect. They often not bulldoze buildings that are just a few years old, especially in places like in Las Vegas, where there's like a constant churn of buildings. They just knock them down and build another one, knock it down, build another one. There's no wanting to sort of memorialize the past in many places. I know some places like there's some nice Art Deco stuff in Miami, and there's a few little places around America where they do respect their heritage. But this is just, I mean, if it was a terrorist who did this, America would be up in arms. It would be declaring war. It would be declaring war, quite frankly. Power to the people, - Graham Price. I thought I'd just shout that because it's all in caps. Hi, Graham. So he insisted on, as I was saying just before you came on, Trump insisted on Ukraine surrendering the entire Donbass region. When he threw the maps aside, he's a reporter who said, "This red line, I don't even know where this is. I've never been there." He got angry because he couldn't read a map, because he can't read a map because he's thick as pig shit.
Which is insane to do. I still can't understand why you would even like the Ukrainians would never hand over all of Donbass.
No,
just they wouldn't.
But the thing is, Zelenskyy can't. It's not his decision to make. It's the parliament's decision. He is the president. He has to do what the parliament
exactly. He's got to take
do.
anything to his parliament. We remember the whole mineral deal.
Yeah.
Fiasco at the start of the year after the last temper tantrum he threw in the White House.
Yeah.
That had to go through Parliament, and that was having a lot of difficulties going through before it eventually got very, very much watered down and is not looking. I think basically it's just been put in a bush somewhere in the hopes that someone will forget about it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Really weird.
So he flip-flopped almost immediately after the meeting, and he endorsed a freeze of the current front lines, which is not the whole of the Donbass, as I was explaining earlier. And Zelenskyy told reporters that Putin wants total occupation of Ukraine, which he absolutely does. You know that because he literally tried to take the capital at the start of all this. 3.5 years ago, he tried to take the capital. And tell me he doesn't want the whole country.
Yeah.
And all of his rhetoric that he's been coming out with, this stuff he goes on about the history of Russia and how Ukraine was always an integral part of
Peter the Great's horse pooped somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that's when now.
Ukraine has technically been around longer than Russia, so Ukraine's probably got a better claim over Moscow than Moscow has over Kyiv. But like the European officials not optimistic. They see Trump echoing Putin's maximalist imperialistic war aims, which is to completely annex the whole of Ukraine, one of the biggest countries in the world. Like Ukraine's fucking massive. And Putin has demanded that Ukraine withdraw withdraw from Donetsk and Luhansk in the Donbass area. He's also offered only small areas of Kherson and Zaporizhia in return. And previously, August last year, he demanded all of Donbass plus Kherson plus Zaporizhia. And Putin is not negotiating seriously. His aim is to divide and destroy Ukraine from within, if necessary, or without. I mean,
and like I
people
say,
in the
the
chat
whole
are saying
point
he's got no
is to
fucking
take
tanks.
this part, and then he'll rebuild his forces, and then they'll try again, and they'll take more.
Yeah,
this has been what it has been so far. They took Crimea first, and then there was a quote civil war.
Yeah.
Who, rebels just happened to be, supplied, and these Russian troops just happened to come in and help the rebels randomly. And then of course we've now sort of had this, this since 2022. If the line of conflict is frozen, Putin will just rebuild his forces. That's what he will do.
Yeah.
And then he will try again.
Yeah.
It's just inevitable.
This flip-flopping thing on Ukraine, like if a left-wing leader changes their mind, everyone's screaming about flip-flopping. Trump does it on a daily, he does it on an hourly basis. He told Fox News, Putin has won property. He's going to take something. I mean, the words that come out of his mouth don't, don't make sense. But he's previously said, I think just as you came on, I was saying about him saying that the Russian economy is doing really great. He's previously said it would collapse. Make up your fucking mind. He can't remember what happened yesterday. He's got a goldfish fucking memory.
It's looking like that they're going to actually start building up a deficit soon. This war, I think someone will be able to find it online somewhere about how much this war costs a day for Russia to actually try and maintain.
Yes.
They're going to a deficit because of the fuel crisis that the Ukrainians have caused, because they've been striking the fuel plants.
They've been very clever.
Because the Ukrainians have really ramped up their drone production.
Yeah.
And it's not just that they've ramped up their drone production, it's the fact that these drones have gotten way, way more accurate.
Yeah.
So now they've not only been attacking these fuel refineries, they've been striking the vulnerable parts of these fuel refineries, because where do these parts come from? They ain't made in Russia. They're made in the West. So it gets increasingly harder to try and get these parts in. So which has now caused a fuel crisis. So now they're not exporting any fuel, I believe, until I think the start of next year.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Nubadoc is saying that Russia's war spending is 40% of its GDP.
Yeah, it's not cheap, and they're going to be, I think, a very bad economic situation sooner or later.
Yeah,
we know that they've said several times. I think it was Lavrov. So I think it must have been a year or 2 years ago now. Said that Russia can't fight beyond 2025. Well,
here we are.
We're in October of 2025.
Well, I mean, they do have powerful friends. I mean, I'm sure the Saudis are subbing them some money. The Iranians will be as well. The Chinese, I'm sure Modi in India will be, happy to lend him some money for, shit and giggles and whores. But yeah, I don't see the economy collapsing in Russia, because it is just a war footing that they're on at the moment. But if Ukraine got the support that it deserves from Europe and from America and from all the NATO allies, we could have, a point where Russia just literally has to stop. It just cannot go on anymore. And
I think we're honestly getting to that point. I think we're getting there. I think this might very well be the start of it.
Well, when I was there a couple of years ago, I went to Lviv and we were talking to a police officer, and he was saying he thinks that the war's going to go on till the end of the decade, at least. Because don't forget, here's the thing, right? It doesn't matter what Trump wants or what Putin wants, really, or even what Zelenskyy wants. Because you do know that, like, the Ukrainian people are not going to give up fighting. They're not just going to go, all right, fair enough. Yeah, go and have it. They're just not. There's just too much that's happened. There's too much blood under the bridge. Like, they have gone into villages and towns, and they have committed rape as a weapon of war. They've used rape as a weapon of war. They have butchered children in front of their parents. They've stolen thousands of Ukrainian children, kidnapped them, and taken them to Russia to make them grow up Russian. It's so fucked. And the Ukrainian people, talk to them. They're not going for a peace deal with Putin that allows Putin to take 1/5 of their territory. It's just not going to happen. Well, it might. I'm not going to put any money on it, but I just can't. God, I just can't see it happening. But this flip flopping, right? Trump suspended arms shipments earlier in the year in July, unsuspended them days later. He's threatened to cut off Ukrainian aid entirely, then reversed again under pressure, and it's like they're having to play roulette with their own weapons supply for this country. Imagine if like Iran was doing this to Russia. I mean, it was just like, you call yourself an ally? You're a shit ally. But this really hurts Ukraine's military because you've got to plan for stuff. There's a lot of logistics that go into war, and uncertainty. It's almost worse than the lack of weapons because it's not getting predictable support. Frontline strategy has to change every time Trump decides to stop shipments, or he promises Tomahawk missiles and then he says, "Oh no, actually, I was only joking." They need. The Patriot missiles they need is critical for defense. And when they're pulled, Ukraine has to pull air defense from other areas. Weapons already approved under Joe Biden have already run out. They've already run out. They've gone. They've been used. They're over. Well, I mean, the weapons might still be all right, but the ammunition's gone. And apparently the Trump administration still hasn't requested any new funding from Congress for Ukraine. Not that the Congress can do anything at the moment because America's government is still suspended. Now it's happening. Now it's happening in America.
I have to think that is another point we will probably be looking at some point in the future when the weapon shipments start coming up. When will there be more bills like that coming up?
Yeah.
And I believe maybe it will be next year. I think 2026, I believe, was the last. I think was the last one it was done up to, but again, I can't remember off the top of my head now what the date they specified for it. But these Trump or anything else just to try and run out the clock on something like that.
Well, I mean,
and then at that point, we have to really pick it up. This is why the past couple of years. We really have to sort of improve our capacity on this.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Issue. Well, we need more.
Do you remember when Pete Hegseth just halted deliveries of weapons to Ukraine? Pete Hegseth is in charge of the White House, Pentagon, the rapist, the fucking rapist, the man who rapes women. Pete Hegseth, fucking drunk, alcoholic, scumbag, Nazi, absolute straight up Nazi rapist, scumbag. He's in charge of the Pentagon. He's told all the papers and all the press to leave. All the journalists who are embedded there have had to leave.
Yeah, you can only have court stenographers there now, apparently.
Yeah. And he halted deliveries without consulting the White House. And Trump was like, that's all right. It caused absolute fucking chaos inside the US government, but Trump didn't care. Trump loves chaos. He thrives off it. And Trump's saying, US stockpiles have to come first. Why? Is someone thinking of attacking America? What? Who? And Pete Hegseth, the fact that he was allowed to stop that munitions flights without asking anybody, that is fucking terrifying. And Trump saying, he didn't know who made the decision. It was Pete Hegseth, mate. Hey, it was Pete Hegseth. And, allies are really concerned going forward that American support is just going to wither and die on the vine, especially without any new bills going through Congress to send more money, which I can't see getting through at the moment in these conditions. And, when Trump is declaring war on his own people, never mind, trying to pop up a war anywhere else. It's really fucking grim. And, I mean, it it's good in a way that Europe has to work together more than ever before, but bad in another way because you've got some dickheads in charge in Europe, like Viktor Orban, sorry, and Maloney in fucking Italy and stuff. And we might even have Le Pen soon in France if they don't put him in jail for robbing the crown jewels. But yeah, all this just emboldens Putin. Just absolutely emboldens Putin. What was people saying in the chat? I had to abort my flight. The autopilot went crazy and climbed me to FL 440. I don't know what that means. I believe the Russian railway has gone bankrupt, says Davinator. That's quite interesting. Ukraine is like one of those fish with a spine in its dorsal fin. The predator Russia can get it in its mouth but can't swallow it, says Kirsty. Yeah, it has bitten off more than it can chew in this respect, and it thought that it would get away with it. It thought that Ukraine wouldn't be prepared. They mounted a lightning war. Nigel Farage was on TV saying, "Don't worry, that it's just an exercise. Russia won't really invade," and then they did.
Yep. And
then there's a rare apology video of Nigel Farage from 3 years ago where he went, "Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't think you'd actually do that. I didn't think the psycho would go out doing something completely fucking psycho." But yes, everyone's discussing flight sims in the chat. So yeah. Cool. The scariest thing is that these idiots except Zelenskyy have a lot of power and nukes, says Diz. Yeah, but realistically, did you hear about Trump getting rid of like 1,600 people who look after the nuclear stockpiles in America?
That was that was the big, the big firing, wasn't it? That happened.
I mean,
I still can't believe that happened in many respects. It's just insane when you think the stuff that Doge did. And I think there's even more stuff that they did that we still don't know about that will probably end up coming out sooner or later. Yeah. I think it's inevitable that we'll find out some of this stuff about Doge eventually. But I suspect there's a lot more stuff that just hasn't been talked about on some of this stuff. Highly suspect there is.
Yeah, the NNSA said it could furlough up to 1,400 workers as a result of the funding lapse from the shutdown, which is
how many days are we into now?
It's about 3 weeks.
Do we know?
Isn't it? I'll look it up. U.S. government shutdown. Shutdown 2025. What's happening to end the shutdown? Nothing. October the 1st, so we're 21 days in. 21 days, yeah. 3 weeks. I said 3 weeks. There you go. Exactly 3 weeks. We are in 3 weeks. Began a shutdown at midnight, 1 minute past midnight on October the 1st. And the furlough, it resulted in the furlough of roughly 900,000 federal employees and left another 700,000 working without pay.
So I believe the record is it just a little over 2 months?
I thought it was 35 days. Hang on a sec. I
don't know if that's like in total history or in like we're talking like modern history as well.
No, because the longest one was under Trump from 2018 to 2019. 35 days. 35 days it was. So we're 21 in now.
21, right?
21.
So we're what 21. That'll be. It'll be what? November
the 5th.
Yeah, November the 5th. That'll be 6th. The
point where it goes longer than the last one.
That's where it will start going longer, and that's potentially where we could see it get even worse if it goes beyond that.
Yeah.
So fun things could happen in America if that starts going on. But you've also got to remember this is one thing the Republicans want. A lot of like the small C conservatives have wanted this for years, so they're like, great, government shut down, excellent.
They
We
want to
can
get rid of the
all
government.
these government employees that we
Yeah, but
don't
also
like.
they
And
don't want the
don't
government.
want.
Yeah, they don't want
Yeah.
to have a government. They just don't want one.
Yeah, because Trump's already said that. I think he's already said almost at the beginning of this, anyone who they fire, they're not going to rehire.
Yeah.
So that is bad. And there is no, I don't think in any, well, even in Argentina, we'll probably talk about Argentina because there's updates on that as well. Even in like Argentina, where Milei's come in and sacked all these people, he's pretty much almost crippled his government. They're running at a skeleton crew level, almost his government, and he's had to like wind some of that back because his government can't run effectively and properly.
Yeah.
So we'll see how far eventually they go on this. But even our own conservatives, when Brexit happened, you'll remember, of course, the big promises from like people like Rees-Mogg and etc. Oh, great, we can now get rid of all these civil servants.
Yeah.
Well, what happened? The civil service increased.
Yeah.
Because of Brexit.
Yeah, exactly.
There's more stuff to do. Governments just get bigger. And they get bigger because there is a need to do more stuff.
Things need to get
done. The more stuff there is, the more people you need to do it. It's
yeah.
Right. Gone are the days where it was just like the king is Chamberlain, the Lord High Treasurer, and like 5 tax collectors. that was like a proper medieval government. That.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry, Joanna. No, it's fine. You can talk about your flight sims. I wasn't complaining. I wasn't saying you're not allowed to talk about flight sims in the chat. You can talk about whatever you want in the chat. It's just I'm trying to find stuff to bounce off to talk about. But yeah, Davinator had 35 days under Trump in the last time he was president. But they love the government shutdown. That's part of Project 2025. They probably won't start the government up again because what's the point? They don't want to. They don't want to have midterms. They don't want to have Congress. They just want the executive and the judiciary that is run by the executive and have to do what the executive tell them to, which is what they pretty much have at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, but going to back onto the situation in Ukraine, this just emboldens Putin further, doesn't it? Like in Putin's worldview, a ceasefire equals a surrender, and it's pushing for total victory. And oh my God, if Trump comes along and goes, oh yeah, give them all the give them everywhere south of the Dnieper River, just give them east of the Dnieper River. And then that's like half of Ukraine. And it's not like they're going to stop there. Do you really think they're going to stop at Kherson? No, they're going to try and take Odessa as well and make their way to Moldova, which they also want to take because there's a separatist region called Transnistria of Moldova, where there's Russian speakers. They have a flag with a fucking hammer and fucking sickle on it, and they want to be run by Moscow because Moscow is their, sugar daddy. And the Russians have been interfering in politics in Moldova.
Right at the beginning of this, when, if you remember, Lushenko leaked the invasion plans on live TV.
Yeah.
It did literally see the arrow of like the troops coming up from Crimea round into Odessa, into Transnistria, linking up with like the Russian troops there, resupplying, and then going over into Lviv.
Yeah.
To Western Ukraine.
Yeah.
So they are. That has always been their plan. They still talk about it.
Yeah, it's always been their plan.
There was a Russian recruitment ad.
Yeah.
That they actually ran where you've got like Russian troops talking about how great it's going to be having a house in Odessa.
But you got
like a beachfront property.
You're like, because Trump's got like a goldfish like memory. He must get really shocked every time Putin betrays him. Because he's like, oh, hang on. What? No, I thought he was on my side. Oh. And everyone else, he has these vendettas that he keeps for years and years and years afterwards, as we've seen with James Comey and Letitia James and now John Bolton getting arrested. So just saying, like, why does he not learn with Putin? Why does he want Putin so bad? What is it about Putin that like gets him off or whatever? Why is he so obsessed with him?
I don't know. I think it's just strong, that strong man syndrome of you know, they just like strong men. I mean, Farage, again, another example. Again, Millet, another example. I think it's just they see people who they like, and they just are attracted and think that's what I'm going to follow. That's
Yeah.
what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to pretty much, you know, crash my economy by dollarizing it, and then hope that, you know, Big Daddy Trump bails me out. At the same time, I'm going to do a deal with America, which completely screws over their soybean production
Yeah.
and all their soy farmers. Yeah, that's not going to go down well in rural America.
No, but he's got to bail them out, like he has done with Millet. So this is
But
Javier
this is
Millet in Argentina, whose bailout is now it's a loan, right? But he's not going to have to repay it, is he? It's some
it's a cash transfer, right?
Yeah.
It's just a
it
cash
was
transfer.
$20 billion, which is an eye-watering sum of money.
Which again is, remember, this isn't the thing is though, this isn't like money going from like the US account to like the Venezuela account. This is actual physical money.
Yeah.
And I think this is what people are understanding, like not understanding about this, because it's physical money.
What? So it's containers, shipping containers,
yeah,
stacked with $100 bills.
Yeah, this is what they are.
$40 billion worth.
Yeah, this is it. This is what Millet is desperate for: physical cash, because he's pretty much, when he first did this, they burned through their reserves of physical cash. I think in like 3 months. Then he had to go to the World Bank and do one of the biggest physical like cash loans in their history. That has now run out. So now he's going to Trump to get this 20 billion.
40 billion.
40 billion. How long's that going to last? Before he's then going back to Trump, can you give me some more money, please?
Yeah. I'm just intrigued. I want to know how much it's going to weigh. So for right, okay. I went on an online calculator that maxes out at $1 million. That's completely useless. That says it would be about 10 kilograms. So yeah, we'll have to.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let's chat GPT this.
4,000 kilograms then. Yeah, go on then. Chat GPT that motherfucker.
So, what was it? How
much would $40 billion weigh? See, we're relying on AI. You see, it's doing our jobs for us, mate. Talking of jobs, I put the super chat up. Maybe I should have just done 5 super chats. I don't know. I put 10 super chats, but any color, so you can throw 50p at the idiot if you like. That's me, by the way, not Ollie. But yeah, if we do it before 1:30, then we get confetti. So yes, 1 billion in for God's sake, 100. Right,
I've got £888,000 it would weigh. On this,
yeah. So it would be 400 million notes. Each note weighs 1 gram. So the total weight in grams will be 400 million grams. Convert that to kilograms, it's 400,000 kilograms or 400 tons.
Yep.
That's not bad. But then again, I mean, you could probably fit all that in one boat. How many tons? How many tons can a modern cargo ship contain? There you go. Let's have a look. Can you get all that in one? So they could put $40 billion on one ship and send it off to Argentina and hope nothing will go wrong. Oh wow. Anyway, so yeah, Trump is sending 400 tons worth of banknotes to Argentina. It might be more than that.
Yeah.
That's if the
actually, I've just asked ChatGPT again. So it couldn't fit in a pickup truck. It couldn't fit up in any standard box van or any moving truck.
Yeah.
It can, however, at least fit in a 40-foot shipping container, of which you would need 7 filled to the ceiling.
Yep.
It could fill a small warehouse.
Yeah.
And, surprisingly, a Boeing 747 cargo hold.
Oh. So it could be flown. I mean, that seems a lot to go in a...
Yeah, so according to this, it would need at least 4 flights to take the weight.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Jesus Christ. Dude, there must be people working for Trump when he comes out with this mad shit, and they're like, "Oh God, we're gonna have to do this now."
Oh God,
and
what do I have to work out?
They get on ChatGPT and they're like, "What do I do? What do I do?" Hey, we've got a load of super chats coming in. Hey, blah blah CW, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, saying here's 450p's. Thank you for the 450p's. That's very kind of you. Also, we've got Phil Nelson, 1327, who says, prefer the old LSD. That's pound, shilling, and pence for the kids. It was because L is from the Latin libra, isn't it? Libra, or whatever it is, for pounds. S is for shilling, and D is decky something. That's where you get pence from. Because it, isn't it? Something, I don't know. Anyway, pound, shilling, and pence. But also, there's a drug called LSD. There's also a Beatles song called Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It could mean any of these things. And Brad W8102 says that ship will return with a fuck ton of coke on.
Yeah.
They're never getting back.
That you mean it's going to return with a load of soybeans?
that money's never coming back. No, but this is the thing. He's given all this money to Millet, and Millet said, thanks, mate. And meanwhile, he's just done a deal with the Chinese to sell them a load of soybeans that they used to buy from America, and they don't want to buy it from America anymore.
Like, honestly, give it about where are we, October? What we're going to say, January, February, he's going to be begging Trump maybe for another loan.
Yes.
At this point, depending how fast this cash gets burned through again.
But this is the thing with Trump. He has a real bad judge of character. He only likes people who are like him, basically scumbags. And the thing with scumbags is, they're scumbags, and they'll let you down every fucking time. So every time he goes to bat for Putin or Orban or Millet or, Bolsonaro or any of these knobheads who he fucking loves, they're not going to pay him back. I don't give a fuck.
No.
They're going to help him. I'm not going to do anything for him. All they're going to do is feather their own nest with his fucking stupid money. Which, God, he's making a lot of money, Trump. Jesus Christ, he's making billions with an S. This is the guy who was nearly bankrupt a couple of years ago. Properly bankrupt, like literally owing a shitload of money to everyone. But there you go. Absolutely fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. Next time someone says Millet is is an economic genius, we should point out that he had to be bailed out. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. Heavy as the crown, says blah blah CW. Yeah, it's all a bit grim though, isn't it? Is there any fun mad shit that's happened this week?
Oh, Japan's got a new female prime minister. In fact, their very first female prime minister.
She's a massive Nazi, isn't she?
Yeah, that's the only problem. She's very very much a hyper nationalist.
Right of Thatcher.
She has also elected 2 women though into a cabinet, which again for Japan is quite progressive.
Yeah.
The only problem becomes is that Japan goes into elections, I believe, very soon.
Yeah.
And that ruling party, as you remember, if you remember, we've been following this. They're not exactly the most popular at the moment because they got embroiled in like a massive scandal at the start of this year, embezzling. You name it. It pretty much all got involved on this one. So yeah, it looks like they might lose, or they might end up having to go into a coalition. So that will be interesting to watch politically what happens to Japan there when those elections.
What they go into a coalition with some like centrists. I mean,
who knows? Japan is really crazy because there has not been a stable opposition in Japan.
Yeah,
because they've just had such a hold on power in Japan.
Yeah.
No other party's ever been able to get a look in, or maybe they've gotten like another member of it. And there's been no like consistent party. It's like if you went someone here who are like, you go, oh, like, well, Labour's in power. Who's the opposition party?
Yeah.
We could instantly go, oh, Conservative, Liberal Democrats, as like, like, obviously the Conservatives, the official party of opposition, etc. But in Japan, it's like, well, there's this party, and there. Honestly, opposition is all over the place because it's just they've just had such a monopoly on power for all these years since
we
the
got
end of the Second World War.
We got another super chat in from Wheels Darren, which is cool. Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. I turned off the chat window instead of pressing the super chat thing. I got confused by the word chat, which is French for cat. Wheels Down, thank you very much for the £2. Bit brassic at the moment, but here's a couple of quid. Oh, thank you. It means a lot when it's, thank you. Thank you very much. So
I like the grammar, brassic.
Brassic. So one of the things that we're hearing a lot about in recent sort of months has been the effect of all the cuts that have happened, not just in America, which obviously has cut US aid, just doesn't exist anymore, but also here in the UK, we've cut our overseas aid budget. It's not been restored to what it was under Labour, what it was before, it was cut by the Tories. Under Labour, so far they haven't put it back, and now there's a big warning going out that there's the cut to anti-malaria funding could lead to the deadliest resurgence ever of the disease. And the problem is this: it's basically, the parasite that is malaria, that wants to survive. The mosquitoes want to survive. And so if you do a half-arsed kind of cull of these motherfuckers, the only ones that are left are the ones that are, superbugs, essentially, the ones that can actually withstand the usual DDT or, if people are using doxycycline or chloroquine or whatever to try and stop themselves getting malaria. This comes at a time when there is now there's now a vaccine. There's now an actual vaccine, which is crazy because it's for a parasite, not a virus. Absolutely fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible. And at the same time, the amount of money that we're giving from rich Western countries has just gone down across the board. There's hardly any countries that are now giving more than ever. It's like they're giving less than ever, and this is like a real critical juncture. We could get to a point before the end of the decade where we either have eradicated malaria, like we've eradicated it from Europe, or we'll have one where malaria strikes back and it's more deadly than ever. It's really, really grim. So yeah, I'm really not happy about the fact that we've cut the amount of funding that we give to other countries, because when countries get desperate, things fall apart. Strongmen leaders get into power. There'll be a putsch, a coup, a military junta taking over, and then things turn to shit, and it ends up in the long run costing everyone else more money. Having a pocket of instability in the world is never a good thing. But yes, Phil Nelson says climate crisis and places that were malaria free will not be so free of it anymore. Will cost more in the long run. Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right. One other big thing happened in France, apart from the
jewel robbery.
The jewel robbery. No, I wasn't talking about. I was talking about Sarkozy going to jail.
Oh, was it Sarkozy? Yeah.
Sarkozy's off to jail for 5 years.
Well, yeah, Sarkozy's going to jail, but the jewel robbery's a bit more.
They're going to throw him around like a rag doll. Oof. But yes, Sarkozy's going to jail for corruption. And so no, this jewel heist, audacious, but if you're going to have a road,
90 million euros estimated at
90 billion or million.
90 million.
Million. That's not bad, is it? It's not bad for 7 minutes work.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's what Elon Musk earns, doesn't he? So, but yeah, there's a road right outside the it's a one-way street. It goes to Point Neuf, and it runs outside the Louvre. And they just basically took an extendable ladder thing, like on a cherry picker, not a cherry picker, but like thing with an extendable ladder on it. And they drove it there, and then they ran up the ladder, robbed the stuff with angle grinders. Apparently, they were unarmed. In an article I read, it said they were unarmed and they shooed the staff away with their angle grinders. And I was like, well, that's kind of an arm. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't really want to go up against someone who's got a fucking angle grinder going, do you? But yeah.
I mean, you just look at all the sparks.
Yeah. But I said, look, if they had pedestrianised that fucking road, then they wouldn't have been able to get up there. And someone wrote, yes, they would. I'm like, why? Because they go between the bollards. I'm like, well, I'm sure people would have noticed a bit more if literally people were walking around and there was cafes on the sidewalk and stuff. But also, like, someone said, but you can't just pedestrianise everywhere, Graham. You got like people who need to get to their homes. People who live in apartments and stuff. And I'm like, it's literally the Louvre, a road, the river. It's like is it the fish that need to get to somewhere with the cars? Anyway, so the thing is, if Paris had pedestrianised that particular road, then this wouldn't have happened. And I went off on one the other day about how much I'm disappointed that the Arc de Triomphe is in the middle of a roundabout. Cars all the way around it all the time making noise. Right.
The craziest roundabout in the world.
Yeah, craziest roundabout in the world.
Yeah. Where you are probably not likely to be insured.
Yes. But also, Trump is building a cross between the Marble Arch and the Arc de Triomphe in Washington. He's going to sit opposite the Lincoln Memorial. The Trump Arch.
What crazy thing is he building now?
The Trump
Arch. Well, he likes to put his name on things, so, I
just think I can imagine anyone else getting away with this shit. Do you know what I mean? Imagine like Biden going to the Middle East and going, I did that. That was all me. No one else did shit. I did that. Aren't I great? Imagine like Obama doing that to the White House. Could you imagine Obama gets into the White House, not even there for a year,
yeah,
and he tears down the East Wing.
He would have never gotten away with it. Never.
Like the Republicans would be going bananas. They went crazy when he wore a fucking tan suit, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Joanna says that roundabout's not as crazy as you think. It's basically just say fuck your car, go for it and push in.
Yeah.
And Sarah says I've been round it in a truck and it was terrifying. Yes, just no way, just stop it. And Futum Stuck is saying LSD prior to decriminalisation in 1971, the abbreviation S from Latin solidus was used to represent shillings. D, denarius. For denari, from your bloody life story. And pound, libra, used to represent pence and pounds respectively. There you go. LSD used to mean pounds, shillings, and pence back in the day. When things were just sensible, you had 12 pennies in a shilling, you had 19 shillings in a guinea, you had 44 guineas in a quadrillump, and you had 14 quadrillumps in a pound, and then you had a chain and a furlong, and it all just made more sense back then. I want to go back to when I was young.
Yeah. Go back to the Tudor period. That was when we had some really crazy money.
I'm going to check my PayPal. Hang on. I'm going to check my PayPal. So, yeah. Audacious robbery. Yeah. Louvre Heist puts losses put at almost 90 million as museum's head prepares to face MPs. Bit of a lack of imagination. And talking to mosquitoes found in Iceland for the first time as climate crisis warms the country. And what else we got? Poland threatens Putin with arrest if he flies through airspace on the way to Hungary. He's meant to be meeting with Viktor Orban, isn't he? But he said he's not going to turn up now. And Middle East. Well, we didn't talk last week. I had Femi on the show instead, when we were talking about the Middle East. But do you think it's gonna?
Well, it's been a bit tenuous, really, hasn't it?
It has.
I mean, I hope it does.
Yeah.
But this is literally a case of, fingers crossed, guys, and we'll see. Unfortunately, it's a bad piece, but a bad piece is not the worst thing in the world if it can be built upon.
They got the living hostages back.
Yep. The only problem is now is well,
The only
Hamas
problem,
needs to find bodies.
the only problem, Ollie. I don't think that's the only one.
Well,
But yeah, I've seen footage. Well, not footage. I've seen pictures of them with like excavators trying to dig up from underneath buildings where the buildings have collapsed.
yeah. Well, this is it. Some are like buried under tunnels in these underneath all the rubble, and then the other problem they've got is that some of the people who knew where they were, well, they're dead.
Yeah.
So it's just like they've got to really quickly do something about this. But the other problem is that Hamas is now fighting each other in the streets, which is also kind of a big
and
problem,
executing
which also
people
causes a lot more worries.
And executing people. Reverend Kathy, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. 21 shillings in a guinea. Well, there you go. But how many Kwanzas in a florins? That's what I want to know. Anyway, and also thank you so much to Joanna. Joanna, thank you. You are an absolute legend at Joanna Hammond for the £20 super chat, which I've just received via PayPal. So thank you very much, Joanna, for that. That's very kind of you. Blah blah CW, £2 super chat. Diz is asking how to fence the loot. Just saying. Well, one way you could do it, thanks for the super chat, blah blah CW, is that you could melt down the gold and then you could make like little replicas of the Eiffel Tower. And that's how you could name the film.
Yep. All the black market. There's a very big black market for a lot of that stuff.
How many ponies to a monkey? 2 shillings to a florin. I didn't ask about shillings. I asked about kwanzas. How many quetzals?
How many fish to a kwanzaa?
How many fish? How many quetzals to a doolally?
Yeah. How many Eki thumps can I get for that?
Oh my god, I would love that if Yorkshire had its own currency and it was called the Eki Thump.
Yeah,
that would be beautiful.
Let's face it, that would be the Yorkshire currency.
Oh, I love that.
Here's 5 Eki Thumps. Go get yourself a tea, lads.
Oh, get yourself a nice cup of Yorkshire tea. So it was Diwali yesterday in India, and there's been a firework ban in Delhi, but it didn't really work very well, and Delhi has awoken this morning to a toxic haze, apparently. The last surviving member of the first team to conquer Everest died at the age of 92, which is pretty cool. And no plan for Trump Putin meeting in immediate future. This is from the White House. And it's saying that there are no plans in the immediate future. The official added that a recent call between Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who's a dickhead, but he seems to be like the most sensible one of the entire bunch. And foreign a meeting between Marco Rubio and Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov was productive. Sergei Lavrov is a fucking horrible piece of work. And there you go. From Attila D6, I've just been handed 480 old pence. So thank you very much for that. Apparently there's 3 by X and an Eki Thump.
Oh yeah, we've got to counter that in, Can't forget a Bayek,
Wow. So, by the way, Trump has just demanded that the Justice Department pay him $230 million in compensation for federal investigations into him. Wow. You've got 1.5 minutes, peeps. 1.5 minutes to throw 3 more super chats in to get the confetti. And the redirect to over to Max's. There's confetti appears in the chat. If we reach it, but you've only got just over a minute left. Come on, peeps, you can do it. The funny thing about Lavrov, back when he started, he was classed as reasonable. Well, so was Putin. Don't forget, there was a time when it was all like, let's all be mates with Putin. He seems like a lovely bloke, and then he turned out that he wasn't. There you go. And attorneys for Mahmoud Khalil, the Columbian University graduate and legal US resident who was detained by ICE following his pro-Palestinian activism, have filed appeals to prevent the Trump administration from detaining him again. Well, good luck with that. They own all the judges. And what else is happening in America? Hosting several Republican lawmakers at the White House for lunch, Trump spent most of his opening remarks heralding the success of his sweeping tariffs, which are, I don't know, destroying the American economy right now. I don't know. Seems to be the case. We've got 30 seconds left, peeps. I don't think we're going to do it. He hasn't got enough money. Oh. He hasn't got enough fucking money, says Diz. All caps. It's fine. It's fine. Do you know what? I've already done the redirect. So after this, you'll be spirited away to the land of make-believe.
You need more 10 ecky thumps, and that's a Sean Bean.
Yes. Oh, very good. I like that. God, I hate him, says Diz. I hope you're not talking about me. I think he's talking about Trump. He's got to be talking about Trump. And mine don't count. Well, no, unfortunately. I can't just bunk it up myself. Anyway, it's finished now. We didn't do it, but I'll still do the redirect. We didn't get the confetti. I should have just made it 5. I don't know why I made it 10. It was just that was what was already on, I think. It was just the default setting. The default setting, I tell you. I'm as clean as a broke dick dwarg, says going out to the party people. Staying in for the party people. What else is going on? Ollie, is there any news stories that we haven't covered from this week?
Not really. Actually, Egypt might be getting involved in Gaza, which could be interesting.
Well, it already was, wasn't it? Because that's where the talks were.
No, they're sending in. They're potentially from the looks of it, they're looking at sending in a peacekeeping force to help stabilize Gaza, to help any potential transition in the process. So that could be interesting. We'll see if again. This is the whole thing. This is a piece that is a bad piece that has already been tested quite a bit over the weekend. Because I don't know, did you see the fact that the IDF drove over one of their own bombs, and blew themselves up, and then blamed it on Hamas, and then bombed an area, and it was just like, oh no, it was us. We drove over one of our own unexploded bombs. Whoops.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not great, is it?
Yeah,
if only there was no one making money out of bombs, we'd be all right.
Stretched. And you can only hope it holds.
Martin Harrow, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Bored waiting in this lay-by, flight delayed. I'm sorry to hear your flight's been delayed. It's all Trump's fault. Apparently, things are going to get really fucked up in America because of all the air traffic control gets paid by the federal government, don't they? It's all part of the Federal Aviation Authority or something. That'll be interesting. And possibly deadly. The other news story that we haven't mentioned yet is that, and we do have to go in a minute, so we're not going to discuss this too much, but this leaked WhatsApp chat between all of these Republicans, young Republicans,
that is
going
crazy.
Rape is cool and Nazis. I'm a Nazi. These people, they hate it when you call them Nazis, and then behind closed doors, the text, I love being a Nazi. I love Hitler and all this kind of shit. And then instead of distancing themselves from this chat and saying, nothing to do with us, these are obviously, wrong uns or whatever. The Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, said, it's just kids. Kids say this kind of stuff. They want to be edgy. One of the people in the chat was 40 years old. 40 years old. He said, just kids. Just kids, Just kids having a laugh. Anyway, right. Ollie, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, talking a little bit about Ukraine and elsewhere. If you're around on Friday, would love to have you on the Friday Night Social. If you've got no better to do.
No, I should be able to make it on Friday next Friday.
Excellent.
No, it's problem of having a social life. But it's
how dare you? How very dare you have a social life? Anyway,
not doing anything too fantastic. I'm attending meetings about AGMs and things like that at the moment. So, I'm an IPP.
You're not going out to an all-night illegal rave. So
no,
no.
I'm attending meetings about that, and at the end of it, I'm like,
I have a meeting to attend.
Paperwork.
The paperwork calls me. Anyway, Ollie, thank you so much. And thank you for watching. And thanks for the super chats. Thanks for all the nice comments and everything. If you give us a like before you leave, that would be a really kind thing to do. Tomorrow, we've got a bit of a packed schedule. 9 o'clock, we've got Morning Brew. 12 o'clock, we've got 5 Minutes of Questions with me, Graham Hughes, talking over it. And also at 6 o'clock, we're going down the rabbit hole, me and Rachel together. So if you'd like to join us for that, please do. You are very welcome to join us. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm going to send you over now to Maximilian's channel, so keep watching and you will automatically be redirected after the credits. So enjoy, and until next time, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Bye.